Hey everybody, this is DJ Vinyl Vertigo. Welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I've uh, come online and did a full video, and I just had this idea. Um, I first was going to do a dozen of this. I was thinking about, what I was thinking about was I was listening to some record and I said, this is the most beautiful thing. I said, there are some really records that you can just consider them beautiful. There's the records that are rocking. There's records that are fire. There's records that are smoking. There's records that are tear jerkers. There's romantic records. I think Mazzy did one about romantic records for Valentine's Day. But I was thinking about 12 beautiful records. When I hear a record and I say it's beautiful, it sounds beautiful. The music just gives me this feeling of serenity, um, and just the warmth and the beauty of the music and the sounds and the feeling. Everything is just everything about it is just beautiful. Um, and so I have a bunch of records. I had 12 originally, and then I said, well, I'm gonna do this video on Valentine's Day, so I'll do 14. And then, of course, I didn't do it Saturday. Then Sunday I said, 15. So now it's 16 because it's the 16th. And I decided, I'll just do 16 of them. So that's DJ Vinyl Vertigo's Baker's Dozen. Baker's Dozen is really 18, but um, I'm doing my version of that. So 16 beautiful records, in my opinion. And you're going to say, oh, well, you didn't talk about this. You left this out. You left that out. I like this. I think that's beautiful. These are my opinion. These are my selections. And they come from different genres. And they come from all over the world. So I'm going to start out with an early one that I listened to when I was a really, really young man. And I just think this is the most beautiful record she's ever put out. This is a singer-songwriter who I absolutely adored when she was around. And I actually met her in New York City. And she was a really cool person. And a unique singer and just a wonderful, wonderful writer. And her name is Phoebe Snow. And this is her second album called Second Childhood. You can find this in the bins anywhere. I think this album deserves to be something that is treasured, probably remastered and put out again, because it's just one of her best, and it's one of the best of this era. It's from 1976. It's on Columbia Records, and it's just got beautiful. It's just got beautiful stuff on there. She kind of looks like Angela Davis there. There's all the information about the songs on the back, and this has lyrics inside. Yeah, lyrics are inside here. This is I believe my original copy, and this is from 1976. It has songs like Two Fisted Love, Cash It In, Two Fisted Love is just the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous record. Gorgeous song. Inspired Insanity. Ron Carter's on this record. Steve Gadd, Tony Levin, Richard T, Hugh McCracken, Ralph McDonald. I'm just off the top of John Tropez on here. Don Grolnick, Will Lee. Let's see. Grady Tate's on this album. It just goes on and on. Phil Ramone actually sings on this record. It's just incredibly. It's such a great record. David Sanborn's on this record as well. And it's produced by Phil Ramone. And it's just a beautiful record. The musicianship is incredible. The pacing of this record is just sublime. You put this on and you could just like sit on a Sunday afternoon with a book and just listen to this record and have a cup of coffee and just immerse yourself in this beautiful record. And she does a great version of No Regrets, an old jazz tune. Sweet Disposition is a great song. All Over is phenomenal. It's a great record. Isn't It a Shame? Going Down for the Third Time, it's more of a rocker for her. But she also does a really cool version of the jazz classic, There's a Boat That's Leaving Soon for New York. He ends the album with that. It's so good. I highly recommended Phoebe Snow record. If you get any of them, the first two, but definitely Second Childhood. Incredible. There's others of her that I love, but this one I always go back to. Next up, this has been a much spoken about record in the past year or two, because she had Stranger Things kind of brought her back on the map, and it's Kate Bush, Hounds of Love. I used to put this, when we had Walkmans, Sony Walkmans, remember that? I used to have a cassette of this. And then later on I got CD of this. I never had it on vinyl. I finally got it on vinyl. But I had a cassette of this record, and I used to go to the beach. Used to go to Jones Beach and just walk on the beach, even if it was cold out. Even if it was cold out, I would just put this in my Sony Walkman and walk on the beach and just let my, let my feet feel the waves of the water hit my feet and just feel so serene and incredible, haunting record. A really great record to go on a long walk with in the woods or at the beach or wherever, Hounds of Love, Running Up That Hill, it's a great song, which is the one that came back for her. Hounds of Love, Big Sky, Mother Stands for Comfort, which is an incredible song. Cloud Busting, Dream of Sheep, oh my God. Under Ice, very haunting and frightening song. Waking the Witch, Watching You Without Me, Jig of Life, Hello Earth, Morning Fire. This is a perfect album. Not only a beautiful, but a perfect album. It's a gorgeous record, and it's great, great artwork. The dogs on her and everything. Really incredible record. Kate Bush, Hounds of Love from 19, what is it, 80? I don't even know. I don't even remember. But this is a 2018 remaster of this classic record. It's from the 80s. I know it's from the 80s, but the mid 80s. Incredible record. And this definitely should be in everyone's collection. Next up is a band that I've been talking about a lot. I really, really dig this band. They have a new album out called Lefty that is really smoking good. But these guys are, to me, like the modern day Simon and Garfunkel. Just beautiful harmonies, incredible guitar work, great songs, and again, very haunting. I think haunting can be very beautiful. And it's a band called Penny and Sparrow. This record's called Finch. It's on 30 Tigers Records. This came out in 2019. And this was the first time I ever heard of them. And I was listening. I found them when I was looking up Foy Vance, the Irish singer-songwriter. And I just found them when I was looking that up. And I just listened to them and I fell in love immediately. These guys are just so good. That's the inner. That's them. Amazing, amazing duo that just, they're just amazing musicians. And what are their names? Andy Baxter, and Andy and Kyle, I think it is. I'll get more information. I'm going to do a whole thing on them because they're just so good. I don't want to waste time trying to figure this stuff out. I should have planned this out a little bit better, but I was just feeling it today. So Finch, great album. The song Eloise was a single for them. Also, Recuerda was one. Stockholm's another one. Recuerda is just incredibly good. It's just, and Bishop is a great record. Don't Want to Be Without You, called classically. Gumshoe, just gorgeous vocals. Just incredible tenor vocals, and just I just love this is the kind of singing that I like. Penny and Sparrow, Finch, another amazing singer, songwriter, and stylist as well. She started out in country and ended up doing a pop album that was extraordinary, beautiful, and really put her on the global stage. And that's Katie Lang. It's the 25th anniversary edition of Ingenue. This is like the Katie Lang record. This is like her tour de force. It had, every song is amazing. This version, this 25th anniversary edition actually has her doing the songs unplugged, live versions of everything. So this is a double record. And it has her doing, it's the studio album, plus it has the MTV unplugged version of these songs. Save Me, Mind of Love, Miss Chatelaine, Wash Me Clean, So It Shall Be, Still Thrives This Love, Seasons of Hollow Soul, one of my favorites, Outside Myself, Tears of Love Recall, and Constant Craving, produced by Greg Penny, Ben Mink, and Katie Lang all together. And just beautiful record. If you have never heard this, I don't know where you've been, because this is an incredible record. Katie Lang, Ingenue, beautiful. These are all really beautiful albums. If you ever want to just relax and listen to some beautiful music and have a cocktail or some coffee and, whatever, these are records I suggest you listen to while you're just relaxing and feeling serene. Another record. This is a challenging record, but it is also a beautiful record. And this is by the innovative, the outrageous, the unusual, the elf-like, amazing composer, singer, personality, Bjork, Homogenic. It is a beautiful cover, beautiful artwork. This is still sealed. I have not opened this. I got this and I haven't even opened it yet. I just love it. I love it so much. I listen. I had it on CD for years. This is from 1997. It opens with Hunter, goes into Hyoga, Unravel, Bachelorette, all neon-like. 5 years. This is Alarm Call is great. This has all is full of love on here. All is full of love. Oh my gosh, amazing. Bjork. She doesn't need much more introduction than that. You must know what Bjork can do. You know what she's about. You've got to. She's too good for you not to know. But this Homogenic is a record that is beautiful, and I highly recommend that record for a beautiful record. Another duo from the UK this time, because of their, again, haunting lyrics, beautiful songs, and the, I believe they're a husband and wife team, and they're still together. Through all the trials and tribulations, I think the husband had gotten very, very ill, and he's doing okay now. But it's Everything But the Girl, and it's their album Amplified Heart. Tracy Thorn's voice is ethereal. It's jazzy. Her vocals are so warm. She sounds like someone who's been through some stuff, but still the voice is just so beautiful and pure. Tracy Thorn, just even her solo stuff, I just love. I love everything they do. But this has Roller Coaster on it. I Don't Understand Anything. Troubled Mind. Missing was the big hit on this album. Disenchanted's another one. To even have a Christmas song called 25th December. We Walk the Same Line. Beautiful record. Great vocals. Phenomenal lyrics. And there's a lyric sheet inside as well. Oh, there's a picture of them. And a lyric sheet inside. Yeah, I'm missing you. Like the shadows miss the rain. I'm missing you. Yeah. Okay. Next up is a jazz record. This is a band. This is an outfit. I should say an outfit, led by an extraordinary guitar player, and who always works with some of the best musicians in the business. And this is, to me, a classic from 1978, ECM label, Pat Metheny, the Pat Metheny Group, with Pat, of course, on 6 and 12 string guitars, Lyle Mays on piano, Oberheim synthesizer, auto harp, Mark Egan on bass, and Dan Gottlieb on drums. Has 6 tracks on it. My favorite track on here is Phase Dance. I love it so much. San Lorenzo's fabulous too. Jaco's great. April Wind, April Joy, and Lone Jack. This is from 1970. It was recorded in 1978 at Talent Studio in Oslo, and produced by Manfred Eicher. And just amazing record. Amazing jazz album. It almost leans into a little bit new age sound, this album, but it's not new age. It's definitely jazz, but it just has that quality that you would automatically think it was new age. but just beautiful. This is a beautiful recorded record, great sounding record. This is not my original, but this is, I believe this is a remaster of it, but it's a really good one. It sounds fantastic on ECM labels, and yeah, just happy to have this one. Yeah, when I saw this, and I saw it was a cheap price too, and I was like, oh, I have to have that. Got to put that back in my collection. You know, I've had it on CD for a long time, but I wanted it on vinyl, and I finally found it. All right, another artist. This artist, this is different for me because when this kind of music came out, I had a love-hate relationship with it. I was doing some DJing for Bumble and Bumble, a hair salon in New York City, and they loved they loved New Age, and they always wanted me to play lots of New Age, and I got bored with New Age really quickly. They wanted me to play Enya all the time, and nothing against Enya, but it was like, good Lord, you know, and they wanted to hear Shadowfax and all that kind of stuff. But one artist that they wanted to hear, and I played it a lot because I enjoyed it so much because I never got bored with it. And this is just one of the albums, but this is to me, one of his best. He has several that I really, really love, but this one I want to focus on today. And it's Andreas Vollenweider, the harp player. He actually plays a harp, not the harmonica, but a harp, an actual harp. And this is called White Winds, Seeker's Journey. And it's one of those albums that just each track flows one into the other. It never stops. The whole side is all these different pieces, but they all flow one into the other. And it's just so incredibly beautiful. This is the most ethereal but striking record. It has it has acoustic but also electronic instruments that work well together, and it's just really, really beautifully done. And it starts out sounding like the wind, and you feel like you're in this frosty ice world, and it just keeps moving and moving and moving, and has all these ebbs and flows in terms of energy and power, and it's just very rhythmic as well. Just a beautiful album, and has vocals on here that are just ethereal, like operatic type voices, and incredible stuff on it. Elena Leda is the voice of Isle. She's the voice of the Isle, Isle of the Voice, and it just the Canopy Choir's on here. It's just beautifully done. That's all, more, and this was recorded in Bern, Switzerland, in 1984. Just beautiful record, gorgeous. Yeah. All right, next we're going to South America. I tell you, we go all over the world. This is a singer-songwriter that I absolutely loved, and I found him in the jazz section at Tower Records years and years ago. This is my original copy, and I think I've taken pretty good care of this. I love it so much. It's a singer-songwriter by the name of Javan, Brazilian artist, and this is his self-titled record produced by himself and Ronnie Foster. And this is from 1982. I think it's from original. I think it was in 1985, but this is his American album. So I think in Brazil, some of these songs came from 1982, and he compiled and made an American distributed record. And this is called Javan. This is my introduction to him, and I love Lilas Luz Esquinas Sina. It's just beautiful Brazilian jazz, basically, and a great vocalist, very, very emotive, very dramatic, and of just a really, really well-honed musicianship on this record as well. And even if you don't know what he's saying, there's translation there, but you don't need to know the translation. I mean, the translation helps you to get an idea of what he's singing about, but even if you don't know what he's singing about, you can feel the feeling. And to me, that's a great artist, that if I don't even understand your language, if you can grab my heart with your vocals or with your musicianship, you got me. So Javan, that's DJAVAN. Van, Javan. Yeah, incredible. I'm staying in South America, Brazil specifically. Oop, this is not going that way. And this guy is definitely one of the um, leaders of the Brazilian jazz movement from the 60s and stuff. But this is a later record from the 80s, I believe. And I wish I had seen him. I've never seen him. And of course, he worked a lot with Stan Getz. He's got the classic record from Stan Getz. This is Antonio Carlos Jobim. And this record is called, and the new band, and this is called Passarin. And this is from 1987. And on this record is, on the record, lots of his I believe his children are on this record. Ana Lontras Jobim, Elizabeth Jobim, Malcha Arnett, Paula Morelenbaum, Simone Kaimi. I've heard of her, Simone Kaimi. But it's incredible. Vocals on here. The thing about Brazilian singing is something very laid back and almost sleepy about the way they sing. It's not forceful, but because of that, they make you lean forward and listen harder, listen more, with more intention, and it's almost like they're speaking to you. It's like they're poets speaking to you, in Brazil, in Portuguese, and they're not showy singers. They don't tend to be very like show-offy singers and all this intonations and all that kind of stuff. It's very straightforward, but very laid back and very conversational, and almost like it's almost like they smoked a lot of pot. And they're just singing very laid back, and it's beautiful stuff. And this album's called Passarim. It has a little bit of everything on here. It has bossa nova on here. It has everything. It just has it all, and it has straight up jazz kind of stuff going on. Beautiful guitar work, the acoustic guitar. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, just beautiful, and flutes, beautiful flutes on here. Yeah, and Antonio Carlos Jobim plays piano on this. He's a piano player, obviously. He plays all the piano work and sings on this, and it's great artwork on here as well. And it's produced by Paulo Jobim and Jacques Morelenbaum. So yeah, Passarim, Antonio Carlos Jobim. We're going to Africa. I think this is my only African record, but this is, to me, in my collection, one of the most beautiful African records that I own, and I have several. I have a lot of Fela Kuti and all that kind of stuff. But this artist, I think the second song on this record at Tower Records in New York City on Lafayette Street, and I walked in there, and this guy who later on became a buddy of mine and a colleague of mine here in Florida at the radio station at WMNF Tampa 88.5 FM, he worked at Tower Records at that time, and this was in the early 80s, or what year was this? 80. Of course, the year is not here, but it's got to be the mid 80s. It's got to be. Doesn't say, of course. The one that I wish it would say, and it doesn't say. But anyway, it's definitely the mid 80s. Oh no, it's actually late 80s. It's 87. And this is Salif Keita Soro. Now, he does not have a very calming voice. He has a very shrill voice. He almost screams the way he sings. He's a tenor, but he hits the highest notes that he can possibly hit. And it's very, very harsh the way he sings, but there's a lot of passion there. His songs have to do a lot about African history, African life in terms of joy and also the pain in life in his region of Africa, which I believe he's Malian, I believe. He's an albino, and which neither here nor there. But anyway, that's how I remembered him, because I said it's on Mango Records, and I was like, oh, I want more of that albino African guy, whatever. And they said, "Let's Salif Keita, yeah." So anyway, when I heard this music in Tower Records, I went up to the counter, and there's Mike Bag. His name's Mike Bagley, and I didn't know him very well then. I know him. I knew him. I got to know him better here, but I knew him kind of in New York, because every record store that I went around to, after a while, he was working at different record stores, and I would see him at different record stores. But anyway, he was playing this record, and I heard this, and I said, "I have to have this. Where is it? Point me to this record. I have to have this." And he just started laughing. And then after that, I would come in, and he would play stuff for me, and he would just put a record on, and he would know that I would want it. Put that on the counter. I want that that kind of thing. So anyway, that's how I discovered this. I discovered this from just somebody playing, a worker playing it at Tower Records. And it has incredible stuff on here. It has children's choir on here as well. But Wamba, Soro, Afriki, that is the most incredibly, it's almost a 10-minute song, but it's just so beautiful. Sina is Sumboye. Oh, that's another beautiful song. Kono. It's just, again, it's in his language, which I don't want to say Swahili, because that's kind of typical to say that. It's whatever his language is. It's in his dialect, in African language, and you don't need to know what he's singing. It's nice to know what he's singing about, and you can, find out what he's singing. In fact, there are translations to these songs as well. Yep, there's translations to these songs as well, and they're beautiful translations. But you could just sit back and relax and listen to this music and feel the passion in here. And there's a lot of real beautiful horn section on this as well. So, Soro by Salif Keita. Yeah. Now we're going into jazz. God, we're going, it's almost 30 minutes. If you're still with me, I thank you for hanging out with me. These are records that I think that, some of these, you might not like all of them, but some of them you probably will be interested in. So I just thought I'd go all over the place in terms of beautiful records. This is a beautiful record. This is a keyboard player, composer, producer. This is on the CTI label in jazz, and it's Bob James 2. Now, I know people know Bob James 1, which has the famous Nautilus on it, which is used in hip-hop all over the place. It has that dun, 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 yeah. But this is a great album. Bob James, keyboard player extraordinaire, with Eric Gale, Gary King, Steve Gadd, Andrew Smith, Arthur Jenkins, Ralph McDonald, Richie Reisnikoff, and Hubert Laws. This is from CTI, distributed by Motown. This is recorded December 1974 and January 1975. And I guess this came out probably about the end of 1975, probably. And this has the most beautiful piece on here. Dream Journey. Oh, God. Gorgeous. Incredible stuff on here. It has a lot of classical effects on there, a lot of classical feel to it. It has a lot of strings, but they work so beautifully with his keyboards and with the bass playing and the beautiful drumming. Just incredibly arranged record. Bob James 2, with the apple in the hand. And on this he does, anything that he does a cover of. I Feel a Song in My Heart. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, yes, I Feel a Song in My Heart has a vocal on it, and that's Patty Austin singing. She's, of course, incredible. And some of the other vocalists on here, I think they sing backup on that song. Frank Floyd, Lonnie Groves, Zachary Sanders. Just amazing people on here. And one of my favorite session violinists, Harry Lukovsky, he's on everything. He's on Quincy Jones albums. He's on Stevie Wonder albums. He's on everything. This violin player, incredible. But just a beautiful record, beautiful jazz record. Bob James 2. Okay, I'm gonna keep with the jazz. Oh, there's another one. Oh God, there was another one. But you know what? I'll talk about her when I do a bunch of her other stuff. I'll skip that one. I just thought of another one, but I don't want to do any more than 16. This one I just got because I happened to hear this and I forgot how brilliantly beautiful this is. And I know you would probably say, well, his classic is blah, blah, blah. But this is John Coltrane Quartet, and this is Ballads. And I know people say Love Supreme, but this album, I have a Love Supreme. I love a Love Supreme. But this album for me this is my crush album. This is my favorite. I love this record. With McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison, and Elvin Jones. It starts off with this say it over and over again. That's just the most beautiful thing. He does All or Nothing at All. You Don't Know What Love Is. He does What's New. Just beautiful stuff. And this is produced by Bob Thiele, engineered by Rudy Van Gelder. And this was from 1962. Just a great, great record. Great jazz album. This is one of those definitive albums that just, you put it on and you just lie down and you just melt. It's just beautifully done. And of course, John Coltrane is just, he's the best, I mean, what else can I say? It's incredible. Ballads by Coltrane. We're almost at the end. We have 2 more. And this next one is from Canada. Singer-songwriter, innovator, festival organizer, and developer, creator, I should say. And seemingly like an all-around nice person, but writes the most tear-jerking, heartbreaking, beautiful songs. Sarah McLachlan. This is Surfacing. This to me is her classic record. This comes from 1997 on Arista Records. And it has all the hits on here. Like it has Building a Mystery, I Love You, Sweet Surrender, Adia, Witness, Angel, Black and White, Full of Grace. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful music. Very sad sounding, but I don't care. Sometimes I want to hear sad, and I just love this. It's beautiful. The packaging is really great on this. It's a gatefold. Really nice record. Beautifully recorded. Very quiet record this is. It's just amazing. Just amazing. Amazing. I just love this record. I love a lot of her records, but this is the one that, just has all the hits on it. And that's not the reason why I love it. I just love it because it's just a beautifully done record. It's just a beautifully done record. And has some of the most memorable songs from just about any singer-songwriter. Now, I'm pulling out, the last selection is coming out of a box. And because I don't have all of this band's stuff on vinyl. I have like a couple of live things, and I have maybe the first album on vinyl. But to find OGs of these now it's pretty expensive, and that's Sade. I got the box set this far. Phenomenal. Everything's good in this. But the album that I want to talk about in this box set, now I know Mazzy talked about Love Deluxe being one of his most romantic records that he owns. But this to me is the most beautiful record that I have of Sade, and that would be the album called Promise by Sade. I think that this song's on almost every one of these albums that I go, but I love that song, but I love this song. But this album, I just love everything on this record. I love everything on the other records, but this album, I played this to death when I got this, and I got this on CD when I first got. I don't know if I had this on album, on vinyl when it came out. This is from 1985. I probably did have it on this on. Yeah, I think I had this on vinyl because I don't think I started getting CDs until 1988 or 89. So I probably did have this on vinyl. I just don't remember, but I know I had it, so I'm sure I had it on vinyl. But this starts out with "Is It a Crime," which is so beautiful. And I was just talking to somebody the other day about Sade's vocal style, and I said, she's one of those people she's one of the few who's blessed enough when they sing, she sings slightly off key, slightly, just ever so slightly off key. But it works for her. It doesn't work for everybody. Some people just sound like they sing bad. She somehow she bends notes where she's actually almost flat. But it works. It just works. I don't know. And it's almost, people say, well, she does? Like you almost, and I'm saying you almost don't even notice it. But I do notice it because as a vocalist, I do notice that. She's a little flat there. But it's not a bad flat. It's almost like she does it on purpose. And it works. And I don't know. I couldn't do it. If I sang flat, you'd be like, oh, he's singing off key. When she sings flat, it's kind of like it's flat, but it's not off key. It is off key, but it doesn't sound completely off key. It just has this feel to it, this sound, this kind of, I don't know, I can't explain it. She's almost in between notes sometimes when she sings, and you hear it a lot when you hear the Sweetest Taboo. Sweetest Taboo, but it doesn't sound exactly on key, and it works, and it helps with that heartbreaking sound that she sings. So, yeah, I just love it. And War of the Hearts is a great song. Jezebel's great. Mr. Wrong, Never as Good as the First Time is so good. Fear, Tar Baby, and then Maureen. That's a song about somebody who passed away, a friend of hers who passed away. This is just a completely beautiful, it makes your heart pitter-patter. It's just so gorgeous. And like her. Sade. And it is pronounced Sade. Now, I'm going to just say this, because this is my opportunity to talk about it. People say it's Sade, Shady. The reason why on their first album, Diamond Life, when the hype sticker would actually do a phonetic type of thing, and it would say Sade. And the only reason why they did that, because I don't even think the band even liked the idea of doing that hype sticker like that. They didn't want anybody to start calling the band Sadie. They didn't want anybody to say Sadie. So they put in their Sade to make sure people say Sade. But it's Sade Adu. That's her name. That's how she pronounces her name. Sade Adu, not Sade. Let's just make that clear. Anyway, yeah, Sade. And just beautiful, beautiful stuff from a beautiful woman and a great band, Sade. And that's it. That's enough. That's 16 beautiful records in my collection. And if you don't have any of these, you might want to check a few of these out and add these to your collection, or just stream them and see what you think. So anyway, the other one I was going to do is Cassandra Wilson. But I will talk about Cassandra Wilson in another video because she deserves her own video, I believe. And that's it. So enough beauty for one night, huh? Anyway, thank you for watching. And if you're still with me, thank you for hanging out with me this whole time. Music makes me happy. I'm sure it does for you too. So keep listening to great music, and I'll see you soon. Take care.